check.
Check.
All right, we're
check.
recording.
Oh, hey guys!
Through the crate.
Through the crate.
Over the woods and through the crate to hip hop mother's house we go.
To hip hop-ery we go.
Okay, that is the dorkiest intro ever. But through the crate.
What's up, guys? Welcome back.
Episode 5.
Thanks
What's going on?
Thanks for tuning in.
Going on.
Whoa, a little excited there?
I don't know. I just wanted to do something weird.
All right, how'd that pre-podcast shot go? That PPS.
Oh man, it felt good going down. It was so good, always smooth.
So smooth.
Here it goes down to my belly. Yum, yum, yum.
And then what does it do in your belly?
It sits there. It makes me feel warm and fuzzy inside.
Oh.
Yeah, that's what it does.
Warm and fuzzy, you say?
Warm and fuzzy.
Like a pair of slippers?
Yeah, sure.
All right, guys. Hey, welcome back.
Stupid. Can we not be as dorky as we actually are in real life sometimes?
I mean, I don't know about you, but I'm totally acting. I'm actually a really cool person in real life.
He's lying to y'all.
I'm the coolest person I know.
Yeah, exactly.
And I know a lot of people.
No. He knows people, but I don't know if those people know him.
You know what?
Hey, I got to get you back for all the times that you've been fucking getting on me for all the last episodes. I got you. We roasting your ass today.
Who ain't no y'all? Well, how many followers we got now?
We on SoundCloud we got 22. On
22. Okay.
Instagram we have 40.
All right.
Facebook is Facebook.
All right, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, so that's what we got going on there. So, and we also have our Tumblr page, but that's kind of my page that I just threw it on.
Tumblr?
It's like a Tumblr, yeah.
Cool.
I mean, whatever. We got social medias. We got it going on.
So guys, we're out there. Follow us. Contact us. Leave us messages. Let us know what you think.
We also have an email address if you want to give that out.
Yeah, throughthecrate@gmail.com.
Literally everything. If you want to see anything about us, Through the Crate. That's it. We have links to everything on our SoundCloud. Everything. We have even the link on our Instagram, so it's great.
Yeah.
Anyway, this episode we are not going to be talking about Drake, unfortunately. I figured I'd just throw that out there right off the top.
I mean, spoiler alert. Now everyone's turning it off.
Really? Well, I'm so happy that you have faith in our followers that they actually want to listen to us and not shit about Drake all the time. They want to actually hear things that we're going to say, regardless if we're going to talk about maybe, one of the biggest hip hop people or pop stars in the world, or.
So glad you said that.
Yeah, exactly. What did Q-Tip say? If you call hip hop pop. Hip hop's not pop. If you call it that, then stop. Bars.
Well, but you know what? I have to almost disagree with that. I mean, I don't know exactly when he said that.
It was a long time ago. Yeah.
Unfortunately, or not unfortunately, I'm actually happy about it. Hip hop is pop now. Pop music has taken a lot from hip hop. I don't think, you know what? I take it back. Hip hop isn't pop, but pop is influenced by hip hop.
Yep. Everyone uses our sound now.
Whether it's the slang. I mean, do you remember when rappers first started saying swag?
Yeah.
Swagger. And then it was a little 2 or 3 year delay, but then you start seeing freaking swagger being mentioned in news. Oh yes, look at his swagger. Mm-hmm. And it's just oh, now you guys are using this word? Because, T.I. made a song and Kanye made a song about it. Now it's this big thing.
Soulja Boy
swagging out, so now everybody's talking about it.
I'm about that bed, put my swag on. Ooh, I have something on that too. But anyway.
So it's very interesting to me how, pop culture takes pieces from different types of music, whatever music is popular at the time.
Yeah.
And that's why it's called pop, and pop isn't, I guess, a specific genre or sound of music. It's whatever's popping at the time.
Yeah.
And hip hop's been popping for a while, so.
Well, anyway,
So we're not going to talk about Drake.
And I just want to give you guys a reason why. One reason is because we haven't been able to clearly just dive into that album. We've been hearing a lot of reviews, just via social media, not not like full on reviews, but just a lot of like,
People's
the memes are out there. Yeah, people's opinions and things like that. We want to give Drake a fair shot by giving him at least 2 good active listens, and we haven't been able to do that so far. So we won't talk on Drake tonight, but we will be doing that literally probably the full 6th episode. Yeah. 6th.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
No.
Did we really do that?
And that wasn't intentional.
It was not. That literally just dawned on me.
It just came out of your mouth.
It did.
And into my brain. And my brain is no longer hungry.
Is Drake like some type of voodoo dude?
He's a god.
I know that he's the 6th god apparently. All right. But yeah, so we won't be talking about that today. But what we will be talking about is how she's just a little thick.
She is just a little thick.
She ain't fat, bruh.
She ain't fat, though.
She's just a little thick.
And what are you referring to? What is this you're talking about?
Oh, well, that's just a little mystical, sprinkled with a little Dicky, and you have like a little bit of Trinidad James. You put that all together, and you just have a song that's called "Just a Little Thick."
Now, Trinidad James. Now, I remember you introduced me to that all gold everything. Mm-hmm. We went back to Oakland. I came and visited. Yeah. Went to a house party, and you and your friends were just turning the fuck up to this all gold
That song
shit.
was just hella fun to turn up to.
And I was like, what the fuck is this? I think that was when I was in my Kumbaya Uma Pumbaa stage.
No, I don't think so.
I wasn't in my full on turn up stage.
No,
though.
you weren't.
I wasn't.
Kumbaya Umba Pumbaa. Timon and Pumbaa. You were in your Kuna Matata stage.
I was in my friggin' cocoa butter and tea tree oil shit. You know what I'm saying?
Like, I got you. Yeah, but I remember that. I think we were at like Rob's house or something like that.
That was a crazy party. I think that was when
Ayana?
No,
I'm sorry. Nephew. Oh, that was Concord. Yeah. That was Concord then.
Yeah.
Yeah, we won't say that on air.
Yeah, we won't speak on that. But that
Nephew was there. Time. That was a great time. On my watch.
And, it was interesting hearing this song because the dude was not lyrical at all. The song I thought was absolute fucking garbage. I didn't even get it. I didn't get the song.
Yeah.
I didn't get it, but,
It wasn't meant to be lyrical.
Exactly. I was in my more conscious rap phase at the time.
Right.
So I was definitely not checking for that. But afterwards, when I got into more of my turn-up phase, I totally, I guess, understood the influence of that song, the impact of it. Because it did have a pretty big impact in hip-hop at the time. I mean, this dude went from nothing. He was freaking selling clothes.
Yeah.
He had like a retail store. He was selling clothes.
In Atlanta.
And he made a song and it blew up, And I remember a year after that came out watching a Noisy interview where he was like pretty much flopped after that.
Yeah, it was kind of like a one-hit wonder, and I think that's something like he recently had an interview with Hot 97 too, and I think that's something that they addressed too. Is like you were hot out here in these streets with all gold everything, and then you just kind of like fell off a little bit. But one thing that he explained is that he actually didn't really fall off; he just fell back. He was doing a lot of songwriting, maybe some production or something like that with some people. So I think that's probably what he did. But and then also like Bruno Mars, like Don't Believe Me, Just Watch, use that, and he's getting money off of that. Same way Soulja Boy is about to possibly make. I don't know. Did I show you that? Soulja Boy is what the talk is now is that since Beyonce used "Hop Up Out the Bed, Put My Swag On" in Lemonade, Soulja Boy gets writer credits on Lemonade. Okay. And we all know how Beyonce is just destined for Grammys. So that would make Soulja Boy a Grammy winning potentially, yeah. Yes. So that's like the whole like thing that's going on. But that's the thing is that like Trinidad James, right? I think that won a Grammy, didn't it? No. Not All Gold, but the other one. Don't believe it, just watch. Uptown Funk.
It's possible. I'll have to fact check it later, but I feel like if it didn't, it should have. That's a great song. It was an amazing song. But yeah, so that's the things that he was talking about. Like I've been behind the scenes type of thing. So he's been behind the scenes, and then he blessed us with this song. Mm-hmm. And first time I heard of the song was the video, and so my first introduction to the song was the video, which was absolutely ridiculous. Yeah, it was hilarious. I mean, you've got Mystikal, you got Lil Dicky. if you guys aren't familiar with who Mystikal is, then you need to
go
wake
kill
up,
yourself.
Okay. If you don't know who Lil Dicky is, okay,
that's fine.
Lil Dicky is a half joking joke rapper. So he like makes rap songs to be funny, but then he also wants to be taken seriously as a rapper.
Yeah,
but he makes joke songs. So it's like those dudes from SNL,
Lonely Island.
Lonely Island. He makes that kind of music, except he wants to be taken seriously.
Well, he's got better lyrics than those guys.
Yeah,
he's got better flow, better cadence, better like.
For sure.
But yeah, I get it. Like, but the thing is that he is like a comedian in a sense, and he is. It's more like he's being received more of a comedian that raps, not a rapper that is funny.
Right, and you know what? That's
like you're not a young. What is it, Young Dro? Like Dro, fuck that bitch. Right, that motherfucker's funny, but he's a rapper.
Right,
you know.
But look, I mean, you know what? In the context of the song and with the video, with the people that were on it, you know, if this song is marketed properly, I could see it having some commercial success. I mean, I'm not like, oh my God, I freaking love this song. But when you have a song that's about something like, you know, thick girls, you know, making a point to, you know, have thick girls in your video, making a point to put positive images towards alternative body image, you know, because what do we see in the media? What do we see? We see skinny girls. Or if you do see girls that are thick, quote unquote thick these days, they still got that hourglass shape where they've got this tiny little waist, but they've got a little bit of chunk, right? So it's nice to have celebrities and people who are in the public eye actually talking about what real people look like and real shit. Like, I'm sorry, 90% of the women out there do not look anything like these Instagram models.
No.
Do not look anything like these girls that are in the videos.
No.
They look more like the girls that were in the video.
In that video,
you know?
Yeah.
And let's just be real, guys. Like, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. But I also think, like, I want to believe that that's the case for it. But then also, like, at the end of the song, he goes, "Get off my foot," which I know he's being funny. But, like, is that, like, are you making fun at that point, too? Like, and then also, like, she ain't fat, bruh, she just a little thick. Like, I mean, I understand that that's, I don't know, like, I want to take it more as, like, you are trying to empower the thicker woman. But at the same time, when you say at the very end of the song, "Get off my foot," like, you literally just killed the anthem for me. You know what I'm saying? Like,
it's funny.
It's funny. Like, I get it. It's funny. Like, I get it. But, like, so, like, to take it as you're taking it, like, to me, I'm just like, I don't know. Like, I feel like it's a on a scale, and it just keeps juggling, I guess. I don't know. But in regards to the commercial success, I think that is exactly what they were going for. It's a DJ Mustard beat, so you know it's going somewhere.
Right.
And then just the structure of the song is definitely going to go somewhere. And then you have Lil Dicky on it that reaches a certain audience. You have Mystikal that reaches a certain audience.
The only reason why I listened to that and
is because
clicked the video is because it said Mystikal was on it.
Right, exactly.
That's it.
Exactly. So it reaches an audience like that because people that want to hear from Mystikal, because that last Mystikal song that he had.
Oh my, sound like James Brown.
It was so dope.
Yes.
Mark Ronson is a genius.
Yeah.
But and if you guys don't know what that song is, I believe it's "Feel Good." I feel good in this motherfucker.
Yeah.
My whole hood in this motherfucker. Yeah.
All right.
So we gonna break the motherfucker all night. All night. But yeah, I used to like ding, ding. It had like a James Brown lick to it.
It was funky.
It was funky.
It was
like,
funky.
And that's what Mark Ronson, this I think he's British. This dude from overseas, we'll just say that. This dude from overseas got all this funk in him, like, and he's a like real DJ, you know, like he's got a lot of like soul to him. So I was really like happy to see that Mystikal song come out.
So yeah, so who knows? Mystikal might come out with some stuff later. That's exciting. I mean, just because his voice is so unique and his energy is so unique, and it definitely fills a gap that's been missing in hip hop. For a while, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So it'll be nice to have that kind of raw energy from him.
One thing that Lil Dicky was saying, I actually watched this on Facebook today. There was a cartoon video of Lil Dicky featuring Snoop. And it was a full song. And it was just Lil Dicky basically applying to the rap game. Like sending an application. I'm not sure if you've seen that. But I'll try and find that and put a link in the description for you guys. But yeah, like it was pretty interesting. Like it's just his perspective. Like I'm trying to get in here. This is what I want to do. I want to be taken seriously. I know that I'm comedic, but this is what I want to do. So just going back to that, like he knows what he's doing. He knows what he's getting into. So
yeah, that was from his debut album.
Yeah,
Professional Rapper.
There you go. Professional Rapper. Thank you. But yeah.
So I mean, how long has Mystikal been around?
Ages.
He's
been around since, I hope our listeners know this song, Shake Your Ass, Watch Yourself, Shake Your Ass, Show Me What You're Working With. That's a Pharrell shit right there.
Neptune's Murder. So it's, it always makes me wonder, like, when does a rapper become irrelevant?
Ooh. This is juicy stuff, yeah.
I mean, when is that break-off point?
When is it?
I mean, we're not talking about Drake, but
no, none.
We're not. But is he reaching that point? I mean, when is that point? When it's like, all right, that's enough. I've heard enough albums from you. I've heard enough records from you. You're dead to me. I'm ready. I'm moving on to the next guy.
Damn.
For me, in my mind, when I think of the longevity of rappers, who's had the longest career, I've got to say Jay-Z.
Yeah.
Because Jay-Z has been around through so many different changes in the music. He's benefited from the loss of two of the greatest. Mm-hmm.
I know. Where would he be if Pac and Biggie were still here,
I don't know.
That's crazy, right?
There's, you know what? It's very difficult to say things like that because those two losses changed so many different things that then in turn changed so many different things that then in turn changed so many different things that at this point
you can't even guess on that.
Can't even speculate. Can't even begin to.
It's like trying to go back in time. Like you go back in time and you change one thing, and then we end up having like trunks for noses. You know what I'm saying? Like
a butterfly flaps its wings in Japan, and Donald Trump becomes president.
Oh shit! America. And then we die, and that's the end of the human race. And then it's over. That's it. We're done.
So but yeah, I mean, what Jay-Z's had
years on years,
so many years, and. It's funny because I just recently started going back listening to the more recent Jay-Z music. So I just listened to I don't even know why I was listening to this shit.
Reasonable Blueberry.
No, this is more recent stuff.
Oh, more recent. Oh, Magna Carta.
I listened to Magna Carta, Holy Grail, which wasn't bad. It was actually pretty good. I re-listened to it and I was like, okay, Jay-Z got his little more modern flow going, but it was still pretty good.
Yeah.
And then I went back one more to watch The Throne. Mm-hmm. That shit was fucking
You loved ridiculous. That album.
I love watching
That was a good album. That was a really good album.
I loved Watch the Throne.
But I know this is like kind of off topic, but one of my favorite Jay-Z albums was the Dynasty album. What was that?
Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
It's
not even one of his solo projects.
Well, it had a lot of, but I guess you're right. I guess the reason why it's a point in time in my life that's why I like it a lot.
Gotcha.
Like if I had to pick like an actual solo one, sorry I didn't like preface that correctly, but if I had to pick like a solo one, it would probably be like Reasonable Doubt or something. But no, like that Dynasty album, like I used to play that album like over and over and over. Like, there's threats, nigga. put you under the mattress like drug money, nigga. Like that shit. Like I don't know why that like is a staple in my life, but that's when I was like I think that's when I was getting into hip hop a lot more, and I was like, I'm gonna listen to this shit, and I'm about to like dig, and I'm about to do all this, and then that one just stuck to me, and I don't know why. Especially like the one Holla at Purdue, like with Beanie Siegel. I think that's why I just liked all the like. I don't know, but yeah,
that East Coast flavor a little bit.
That's when I was into East Coast guys too. East Coast flavor? Okay. So yeah, I guess so. I had my little East Coast crushes back then. Aww. So hey, but yeah, sorry, I totally went on the tangent. We were talking about lifespans of rappers. No. Jay-Z came into that circle, and
I'm trying to think who else. I mean. You know, rappers have... I mean, Eminem had a pretty decent run.
No, yeah. And he's still going, to be honest. But would we say that going?
I mean,
it's... Well, if we're going to count Jay-Z as going, we're going to count Eminem as going. Because Jay-Z hasn't put out an album in a while.
Right, but he still has a feature on a Drake song.
That's Drake. Not a... Stop.
I'm not doing that on purpose, but it's the most recent Jay-Z thing that's happened.
Yeah, and it was 2 bars.
And okay, you're right. It was
2 bars. Anyway, but like the only reason why I was comparing the two is because Eminem has Shade 4-5, Sirius XM on that or whatever.
He does.
That's Eminem's radio station. So that's the one thing, and that's where that Sway's on. Sway's on Shade 4-5. That's one thing that he has. I don't know a bunch. I know he has like a couple of other like businesses that he's in, but he's got that, and then Jay-Z's also got his business side too. So if you're going to count him as a rapper, we're going to count him as a rapper.
So
because we know those are both people that.
So that you bring up a very interesting point in that what a lot of rappers do once they are finished being rappers is they transition to more of the business side.
Right.
You know, Russell Simmons was one of the originators of that.
He was never a rapper, though. He was always an exec.
A part of the hip-hop.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I just wanted to clarify.
Thank you for clarifying.
And I didn't know if you knew. Now you know.
Thank you for clarifying.
Faux show.
But you have people transitioning from necessarily the music side to more of the business side.
Right.
Jay-Z's done it. Diddy did it.
Diddy did it.
Diddy did it.
Yeah, no, that just sounds funny.
I mean, 50 Cent throughout all of his drama, he's definitely more of a businessman now than he is a
But he's
rapper.
putting out music.
He's putting out music, but who's checking for it?
Shots fired.
No shots. It's reality.
It's facts.
You don't. It's not being checked for, and it's not necessarily 50 Cent's fault. You know, I've heard a couple of his recent tracks, and they're not bad. You know, but I mean, it's 50 Cent, and people just kind of move on. I mean, kind of like Ja Rule. Like, I mean, I don't think
sucks that we laugh at the thought of Ja Rule.
I don't think people stop listening to Ja Rule necessarily because 50 Cent said stop listening to Ja Rule.
No, it's
because it ran its course.
Yep.
You know, that phase in hip hop moved on.
Yeah, definitely.
So, I'm still trying to think about more people who have kind of had a long career. Now, the problem is, you know, for someone like a Nas.
Yeah. Nas is amazing.
Who's also had a long career, who also has a great...
But he's also continually has been active, I want to say.
Active in music. But he hasn't been active on the business side.
No.
See, Nas is one of those
dudes. He's got mass appeal.
I feel like is more one of those like artists, like a pure artist for the form of the art. And is not necessarily in it to be a big boss of a conglomerate and try to, you know, bring up other guys. Like he's doing his thing, but he's not. He's definitely not on the Jay-Z level.
No, definitely not.
From a business perspective,
right?
I'm trying to think who else is old. I mean, Snoop is still around, and
Snoop has always been active.
So Snoop brings up an interesting point for me because he reminds me more of kind of what you need to do to have that longevity. And I think Snoop has done this even better than Jay-Z.
Oh, he has.
Where
I think I know what you're going with.
Snoop has made himself an icon. Like Snoop has made himself a caricature of Snoop. so that now he's like a character. He's not even like a person.
Right.
You know, if you're talking about weed, or you know what I'm saying, if you're talking about smoking weed, you think about Snoop. You think about Willie Nelson. Like, he's made himself one of these integral pieces of the weed culture, and then he's allowed himself, with that success and with that platform and with that set amount of fans and followers, to then propel him into other avenues. I mean, you know, he's got partnerships with the weed people, obviously, selling the weed pens and, you know, vaporizers and stuff. He's got a sports deal because he
Coach Snoop.
Right, he coaches football, so he's got deals with that. He's a funny dude. He had a show on MTV for a minute. Do you remember that?
GGN. Right,
he has the talk show that he does online. So,
and it has all of his products laid out on the table. He's got shoes. He's got everything.
So, you know, he's turned himself into a mogul. He's turned himself into an icon.
It's like the natural progression of a rapper.
If they're good,
nowadays,
they're good and they're smart.
Yeah.
You've got to be good at your rapping first. And you've got to be smart about knowing
to
how to market yourself.
I feel like it's the people that are... Yeah, you're right. Because I was going to say, I feel like it's the people that are good lyricists, but then we have the ditties who have... But he started out as a mogul as well. Though.
Yeah.
So that he's more in Russell Simmons' lane.
But he started rapping.
And then he started rapping. Because he had people writing for him. And then Dr. Dre is not a rapper because he had people writing for him too. So... I mean, I guess you can call them rappers, but they're not like... So, like, for the lyricist, for the person that is true to the art form... Well, actually, now I'm getting into a whole nother conversation, because if you want to say true to the art form, what is that song? A hip, a hop, a hibbit to the hip.
That was all stolen.
Yeah, exactly. So, is that true to the art form? But then we decided that one day that... Never mind. I'm not even going to go to... That's a whole other conversation that we can...
We'll talk about that next week.
Yeah, we'll talk about that some other way. But yeah, so what I was going to say is, like, lyricism, like, coming from, like, the grassroots and building yourself up. It's like the natural progression of a rapper, you know?
But I'm sure it also...
Kind of like the natural.
I'm sure it also takes work. You know? I mean, you have to be willing to do it.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I'm not saying that it's something that's given to you.
I mean, I'm sure there are rappers who just enjoy rapping and enjoy doing shows, and will just keep doing... Tech-9 has been rapping for an extremely long time. I remember people talking about Tech-9 when I was in middle school.
Yeah, dude. He's been around for a while.
He's been around for the longest time. And you know what? He is a mogul. He's an underground mogul.
He's like the number one independent artist, I think. Ever. Like number one selling, number one everything.
And
he has his own, like, Strange Music has their own like whole thing.
Everything.
Like, he owns those festival stages. I know that for a fact.
And you know, it's funny because people like Tech-9, they're not household names, but he is richer than probably... He has more money than probably your favorite rapper. Because it's all independent.
And he's been doing it for independent since, like, he was...
I'm telling you, since I was in middle school.
Yeah.
People were talking about Tech-9.
For at least 20 years, I want to say. At least...
I give him a solid 15. I don't know exactly.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about middle school. I ain't that old.
Well, I mean, we're 29. Middle school, we weren't 9.
So, like, 15 years.
15 years.
I'll give him 15 years.
Sorry, guys. My math ain't good.
He's been
I can't do math good.
Don't talk good. Don't do math good.
Don't read good.
But I can write some
bars. Don't smell good.
You sure don't smell good. I'll smell you from over here.
Is it because I went to the gym?
Yeah.
Tressa trying to get right for the summer.
You know that summertime coming.
Summertime fine.
Cuffing season's over.
Hey. That was a weird hey. Hey.
Hey.
Anyway.
So, what do you think Mr. Tupac would be right now? If he... Do you think he... Like Tupac and Biggie, you think they would have had staying power?
I hope. I don't know. I think Tupac may have had more staying power than Biggie.
Really? What makes you say that?
Or you know what? I feel like, actually, now that I think about it too, I think they would actually have two different lanes. I think Biggie would go the route of Diddy, and Tupac, like, Biggie would, like, become something big and have his own shit, and, like, he'd have this whole thing over here. I see Tupac doing something a lot different and a lot more abstract. Like, just because of, like, he was that dude that was like I'm gonna do what I want to do, and I stand for what I stand for. And so I see him, and like, just like all of the interviews that have surfaced and stuff like that, like, they come up, like, he was an activist at heart, especially, you know, like, just like he was an activist at heart. So, like, I feel like he would go into a different realm, and he would actually make a different impact on the world. I think Biggie would become some big mogul in the rap industry, but I think that Tupac would do something a lot more out of the norm, out of the ordinary.
Okay.
What do you think?
I mean, Tupac was already beginning to branch off more into kind of diversifying his own abilities when he was here. You know, he was in several movies.
Yeah.
Biggie wasn't in movies.
Nope.
So, you know, Pac was looking into acting. Pac was looking into, you know, I could totally see Pac wanting to start his own shit and doing his own thing and getting his own money for himself and him and his people. Not saying Biggie wouldn't do that, but
I see Biggie compromising. I see Tupac saying, fuck you, I'll do it myself.
I mean, and also, you know, we never got to see Diddy and Biggie actually bump heads. Like, I feel like that would have happened at some point. I feel like Biggie would have got big and there would have been something going on there. You know, I mean, we got Lil Wayne and Birdman. I feel like there would have been something going on.
Man.
I feel like there would have been something going on there, you know?
Right.
Whether either the money wasn't right or, you know, something would have happened.
Something.
Pac had Pac. You know, unfortunately, there was Diddy.
Yeah. Speaking of Pac, we got to say a quick R.I.P. to Afeni Shakur.
Oh, yeah, R.I.P.
Philanthropist, activist,
sure.
Black Panther.
Yeah.
Straight out of that started in Oakland.
Yeah. I mean,
like, that's a hard loss for the community right there, bro.
For sure. I mean, you know, she brought into this world, you know, an icon. She influenced an icon. You know, so she could be faulted for all her faults that were made rather public.
Right.
Because her son was so creative and so open with his own life that we were able to see her faults.
Right.
But it's through her faults and, you know, through her missteps that we got something so special as Tupac. So
definitely. Even down to, like, what she was detailing in that XXL 2003 issue of XXL magazine. She was detailing, like, when she was pregnant with him. Like, she was pregnant with him, and he was, like, she was incarcerated, and she had to, like, do what she could with the time that she had. Like, they wouldn't even, like, give her correct food.
Right.
Like, she had to fight to get at least a boiled egg. She talked about, like, they like wanted it to first be a fried egg, but she was like, no, I want it boiled, and, like, she fought for that. And then she also couldn't get a defense, so she had to you know, on top of being pregnant in jail, like, she also had to become a law student.
Right.
All overnight. So, like, that whole thing, like, that's just crazy to just know that, or not crazy, but I guess it makes sense that Tupac was brought, like, that was Tupac's beginning, you know, that. It's
very interesting that he was, you know, he survived the ordeal.
Exactly.
You know, I mean, for me, just in general, life itself is amazing in that it always fights. It always has this will and this desire to be alive and do whatever. You know, she said that she lost weight in prison while the baby was still growing.
Right.
So, you know, Pac's eating. She's stressing out. She's not getting enough food. But, you know, he's still fighting and finding a way to come into this world. You know, we kind of joked about the butterfly effect earlier, but it's like, imagine if there was one change of events. You know, what if for some reason she didn't get her boiled egg?
Right.
What if she lost the baby and there was no Tupac? The world would be a different place.
Definitely.
So you gotta really put that kind of stuff into perspective and think about it.
Definitely, and I don't even want to think about it because it's just it'll rack my brain a lot to be like, what happened? What would the world be with Tupac today? So, I mean, I know we wouldn't have a lot of these whack ass rappers out here. I know he would probably go in for somebody's head right now that's in the political race right now.
I'm sure he would.
I know he'd probably be on that "Fuck Donald Trump" song.
He probably
right
would.
there with them, right?
He probably would. I mean, you know, give props to YG and Nipsey Hussle, you know, for, you know, putting out a song that's political, and they're not even conscious rappers. All right, so a lot of people are like, oh yeah, these dudes just put out this song about, you know, fuck Donald Trump, just trying to get some hype. Like, you have to understand something. You know, there are different genres, subgenres inside of hip hop.
Right.
You've got your conscious genres,
right?
Your backpack. You've got your pop style. You know what I'm saying? You've got
no
your
pun
gangsta.
intended.
You got your gangsta. You know,
or pun intended.
You got your trap.
Right.
So within those, they don't necessarily mix that much.
Right.
There's not much overlap. There's a little bit of overlap, but there's not much. Mm-hmm. Most people who are successful know their lane, find their lane where they're successful. They stick in it.
Right.
Okay. These guys, you know, Nipsey Hussle and YG, they're not known for taking any type of political stance.
No.
On anything. However, they felt compelled to say something about Donald Trump.
Right.
And so, I mean, you've heard the song. What do you think about it?
I heard it, and I think I've only listened to it once. And to be honest, like, I get what you're saying, but then I also understand the other side of it too. It's like, oh, like, you ain't never said nothing about nothing before, and all of a sudden you feel compelled to say something. I'm not going to front on anybody for feeling compelled to say something when they are feeling inspired. But I also wasn't very interested in the song because I thought it might be kind of stupid. I thought it might just be like some like, oh, all I heard that this nigga want to like build a wall, and so I got to say fuck that nigga. You know what I'm saying? And like maybe that's enough for somebody to make a song, you know? But like this is a very serious issue. Like there is a very serious it's very like he is the potential, like he is the candidate actually.
He will be. Yes.
He is the Republican candidate unless the Republican Party does some type of.
It's not gonna happen. Donald Trump.
You know what I'm talking about? Can you explain that if you don't mind? Because I'm probably gonna butcher it.
You know, there's a minimum required number of delegates that you have to get in a primary, whether you're a Republican or a Democrat.
Right.
It's different for both parties.
Mm-hmm.
But specifically for the Republicans, I don't know the exact number, but Donald Trump is pretty much a shoo-in. Because a lot of the Republican primaries are winner take all or winner take most.
Mm-hmm.
So all Donald Trump has to do is win the majority of the votes in the last remaining few states, and he will definitely be the Republican nominee for president.
Okay.
So
sorry, go ahead.
The way that I feel about this whole Nipsey Hussle and YG thing, I'm sure they used it a little bit for publicity for themselves.
Right.
But, you know, they could have started some bullshit rap beef for publicity as well, you know, like everybody else is doing. Mm-hmm. You know, if you actually listen to the song, if you see the video, you know, it's really about unity. And it's something that I'm really happy to see, especially coming out of California, being from California. You know, me and you were from Oakland, so we don't really have to deal with a lot of Bloods and Crips.
Right.
But something that we do have to deal with, especially more recently, is the race wars going on
Definitely.
in Oakland.
Right.
And so something that they touched on in the song was not just the unity in the Bloods and the Crips, because they're both from different sides, but it was also they reached out to the Latinos and said, yo, man, y'all need to be saying fuck Trump too, because he's coming at y'all.
Right.
So for me, it's, you know, these guys went out of the way to say something political, but not just political, but also hood. They're like, man, fuck Bloods, fuck Crips,
Fluck.
fracka.
Stop.
So, fuck Bloods, fuck Crips. We're coming together against Trump, because fuck Trump. And so I feel like the idea behind that is way bigger than the publicity stunt that one might think that they're trying to create.
Right.
Like on a straight gangster level, like these are Bloods and Crips, dude. Mm-hmm. Like this is a rival gang that goes back, and they're coming together. And it's whenever I see groups of people who are normally at odds for dumbass reasons,
right?
Finally finding a common enemy to come together.
Art of War.
Art of War.
Okay.
The Art of War, where it says, "My enemy's enemy is my friend." Mm-hmm. So if we got Bloods and Crips, but we got Donald Trump who's saying fuck all niggas, fuck all Mexicans, like fuck everybody who's not white, then yeah, you know what? My enemy is now my friend, because we can both go fuck up this guy.
And one thing that I like about that too is that because we all know that the Crips and Bloods like that those gangs were started just kind of the same way that no, actually I'm not going to make that comparison, but those gangs were started because of the community, like they wanted to do something within their community. Right. It wasn't always a negative context associated with the Crips and Bloods. So like just seeing that coming together, like I appreciate that too. I'm not gonna like hate on the song or anything. Like to me, I just had my own like qualms with it. Like that's just me. But like I appreciate them coming together and doing that and actually like saying something and having young people actually like listen up. Like bringing attention to it. Like you need to know what's going on within this election. Like Donald Trump could be your next president, and we could be like in a shithole, and it's up to the people to do something about that, like, or we're fucked,
Yeah,
it's crazy.
I mean, I think it's good to just people like that to bring awareness to other people who may not watch CNN, who may not watch the news and know exactly what's going on, but they're checking for the next Nipsey Hussle record,
right?
Or they're checking for the next YG record. So essentially what they're doing, they're saying when the Nipsey Hussle or the YG fan looks into this, what's this Donald Trump song? They can be like, all right, let me try and figure out who Donald Trump is, so I'm not looking stupid at school the next day, and then that makes, what I'm saying, like makes people become educated. So I appreciate that effort. Makes education cool.
Exactly.
Which is awesome.
Like you don't want to be the one left out. Fuck Donald Trump. Yeah, fuck Donald Trump. Why are you looking around like that?
Donald who? I don't even know who that nigga is.
Yeah. So Ted Cruz backs out though. Like, didn't that just happen like yesterday or something?
It happened not long ago. He lost
Indiana.
Indiana. That was yesterday. And he's like, all right, fuck it, I'm done.
Indiana's a shit state anyway.
So
I'm just kidding.
So now that we're shifting to politics, one thing I didn't really understand in the media in general is how big a lead Donald Trump had,
right,
or has in the Republican Party, and everyone is still like, well, it could be a contested convention, it's any man's race, but Donald Trump was up so big from like the first month of this whole primary thing. He had such a lead. There was no chance anybody could catch him.
Right.
But then on the Democratic side, Bernie Sanders was there, who was pretty close. But then everybody is saying, there's no chance Bernie can win.
Right.
There's no way. Hillary is just, she's definitely going to win. Mm-hmm. So that to me was just a little strange.
Right.
Because I understand we don't want Donald Trump, but why wouldn't we want Bernie Sanders to at least appear like he has a chance.
Why wouldn't we want Clinton to have that type of resistance? Like, why wouldn't we want to make Clinton work for it? If you're saying that, like, Clinton's going to be the nominee, like, why would you want her to just have an easy race? Why wouldn't you want her, you know what I'm saying?
Because she got fucked by that BBC. I'm talking about Barack Obama.
Oh, shit. Sorry, I thought there was something on.
No, it's nothing nice. I'm saying she got fucked by Barack 8 years ago when she was supposed to be president.
Right.
And now it's 8 years later. And she's like, this is my shot.
No, but, like, to be honest, I don't want any of my presidential candidates to have a easy ride to the
I agree.
presidency. Like, no,
it should be
I want you to be challenged.
Yes.
You better be, because you are going to be challenged within that job.
Yes.
You better have the experience of being challenged every step of the fucking way. I don't care if you, like, I'm going to throw shit at your doorstep every fucking day to make sure you can handle it.
Did you hear that, Donald Trump? Tressie is gonna.
Yeah, I'm gonna come to his fucking door and I'm gonna fuck that nigga
here
up
in Chicago, and we gonna throw shit. I'm just joking. We're not actually gonna do all that, but
I don't know. Oh, and then also coming back to Bernie, like Bernie's ideals, Bernie's everything, amazing. But do you think he can do the job?
I mean, if George W. Bush could do the job, then yeah, I think.
Well, George had backing of a party that would support him. He's coming in a Democrat.
And Bernie wouldn't. I mean,
Bernie wants to shake the whole place up.
He does.
You know?
He does. And you know what? At this point, I think the shake-up idea is what's appealing to Donald Trump. I think that's why Republicans are so excited about Donald Trump. Because he's talking completely different than what all the other candidates are talking about.
Right.
All the other candidates are trying to be candid and just be so political, and this is what the party believes in. This is what I'm gonna do. Donald Trump was like, man, fuck niggers, fuck Jews, fuck Mexicans. Let's make America great again. And you know what? All these conservatives out in the country are like, finally, this guy speaks
my language
at a 4th grade reading level, so I can understand what the fuck he's saying.
Right.
Thank you so much. Mm-hmm. So, you know what? I'm not going to take a political stance on this channel. But what I can say is fuck Donald Trump.
Yeah, definitely. Okay. I won't ask you. I won't be trying to put your who you voting for? Who you voting for?
I already voted.
Well, I know we voted in the primaries. I voted too.
In the general election? I don't know. I might write in myself.
Right?
Like how many votes for president you get? 0? Shit,
I got one. I got one.
Shit, more than you.
Man. All right. Well, let's leave it at that. Let's cut this one short because we got a very. I think we're gonna have a lot for you on Drake.
The 6th episode.
The
Jesus
6th episode.
Christ.
Just for all you Drake fans out there, you can go ahead and listen to us. We're gonna try and give you guys a good in-depth not interview but talk podcast. I think you'll like it. But we are out of here.
Deuces.